Hi, and welcome back to Conversations with Chrissy. I'm Chrissy Nizer, Motor Vehicle Administrator, and it's great to have you with me as always. Really excited for today's conversation. It's both personal and really a powerful example of how people can make a positive change in government for everybody in a state or a location. We're discussing House Bill 707, but it's commonly known as Eric's Law, and you get to meet the person behind that name. It is a new piece of legislation that allows anybody with a hidden disability to add that butterfly symbol to their driver's license or ID card, and it gives people with hidden disabilities a new way to communicate about their health and safety information. I'm so honored to have joining me today Eric Carpenter-Grantham, an inspiring young advocate that the law is named after, as well as his mother, Linda Carpenter-Grantham. And she has worked tirelessly by his side, really to bring the law to life and to put a voice behind it. So inspiring, both of them. And we also will be joined shortly by Delegate Taylor, one of the bill's sponsors. Really have to get a shout out to her, as well as Delegate Wilkins and Senator Smith. They really were instrumental, I know, in helping you, along with many other people. It takes a community, right? And so, but again, so grateful for what you've done, and excited to talk a little bit more about this butterfly symbol. And maybe we'll start there. What was the inspiration behind that butterfly that we now see on our driver's license and ID card?
Well, first of all, Administrator Nizer, thank you so much for having us. We love the opportunity to be here and talk about it. So, well, I had to have a conversation with Eric. Him being a person of color and having an invisible disability, not being able to see that he's highly functioning autistic was concerning for me. Should he be stopped by law enforcement? And so I had a conversation with him. I told him, should you be stopped, put your hands up. Don't reach for your phone. That could be dangerous. Yell out, I have autism. Yell out my number. Yell out, someone call my mom. Eric started to cry. Mom, I can do that. But the police would shoot my friends that have autism because they're different on the spectrum. He said, they're not like me. They're going to respond different to the police. Some of them have ADHD. Some of them can't keep still. They're going to keep walking back and forth. Some of them are going to run. Some of them are not going to be able to do what they tell them to do because they're going to be scared. And with him crying in that moment, I realized he's absolutely right about the way that his friends would respond. So he said, we got to do something with such urgency. And I said, well, let's think it through a moment. And he came to me a few days later. He said, Mom, I have an idea. I would like to put something on the IDs that will let the police know that me and my friends have autism. And I said, that's a great idea. And then he came to me a little later and said, Mom, can you take me to Congress? I would like to have a conversation with the House Speaker to have some laws for me and my friends to be safe. And I said, Eric, I'm so proud of you. I'm going to do my best to get you there. So, as you probably know, Eric is very spiritual. He loves God and he loves politics. Those are his passions. So after that, we decided to have a meeting with Senator Chris Van Hollen and Aisha Braveboy, who is now the county exec. She was the state's attorney at that time for Prince George's County. And we just wanted, their opinion on what they thought about it. Senator Chris Van Hollen had his legislative aide to write a proposal for us to present to our Maryland State Senator, Will C. Smith. And we met with Senator Smith, and he told Eric and I, what did he say?
He's going to take the bill.
He's going to write that bill.
Wonderful.
And that's how it all began.
What a wonderful story. And I think a testament to how you raised your son, the fact that he was like, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to take me to Congress. I just think that's a wonderful statement.
Thank you.
I know you're so proud of him.
I am super
He
proud.
is certainly a role model in that regard. But I do think it's important. One person can make a difference. I know people get frustrated. Sometimes we think government doesn't work, whatever is going on. But, one person can make such a beautiful difference for so many people. And the fact that you spoke up and your mom was willing to support you and help you, it's such a testament to what we all do every day, which is trying to make life better for everybody, especially from a public safety standpoint. want to talk a little bit more about the Annapolis process. I imagine it can be daunting, right? If you're not involved in it before and just,
Yes.
going through and talking to folks who may have different perspectives. You feel
Right.
very passionate, but they may have some different perspectives.
Right. Exactly.
Talk a little bit about that.
So, when we first started, Senator Smith wrote the bill, and the bill didn't move at first. It didn't move because we had some opposition. And I have to say that, one of the things that, I guess was an issue, which was a valid issue, was their personal medical information being exposed to Maryland Motor Vehicles Administration, and with the fear of saying that person will not be able to drive if they were to expose their medical information. So I do get that. But the other things that was brought up, I don't know so much about, because this is a voluntary selection.
Right.
Like when you choose donor or glasses on your ID. So, the thing about the car insurance going up and being tracked or labeled was a few of the concerns. So we were grateful that the delegates we had, Delegate Kym Taylor and Delegate Janelle Wilkins, to be able to sit down with the opposers and meet their issues.
That's great.
So we were grateful for that.
And I think that's an important point. It's an option, right? It's a personal decision.
It is.
And something you felt very passionate about that you wanted on your driver's license. But if somebody chooses not to do that, that's fine as well.
Right.
That's their decision to make. But I will say, in a very short period of time, over 4,800 people across the state of Maryland have decided to add this to an indicator. So certainly another testament that you're doing something very important for everybody across Maryland, for many people who feel the same way that you do.
Yeah, I would say 4,825 people in maybe 45 days since this law has been attainable is definitely a testament to how important it is.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
And so maybe, Eric, if you can talk about, does that make you feel more confident now that when you're behind the wheel, because you have that indicator, law enforcement is trained under the law about having it. Just wondering personally how that feels for you, empowering.
Well, hopefully I get to drive someday. Hopefully next year I can start getting my driver's permit and everything. But having that butterfly on my ID, though, is just an amazing thing, because I know that when I go outside to the world, I feel a little bit more comfort on something that's going to have a voice for myself and that I can speak of, and so many others who have this butterfly. So many people have been ringing my phone, sending their pictures, their videos of going to their VAs and getting it. And people are just making this at their own.
It's really wild.
Making it at their own videos, like, hey, I'm going to get the butterfly today. And we were just with somebody the other day, and they were like,
We didn't even know the lady,
but she was like, I'm going to make my own whole video of me getting my license and getting it and everything with their butterfly. And so it seemed like it was just needed. It was just needed in today's world. And it's going to be a voice for others, and it's going to protect people. And that's the most important part for me. That's going to protect people like me with hidden disabilities. And so I'm truly, truly blessed that something's going to save so many lives.
And I think that's a wonderful thing. There's so many stories, and I think that's why it did pass. There were so many people who were impacted, either with a child or a family member or a friend who has the similar story to what you did. But again, you had the courage to speak up. So thank you. I wonder how it feels when you hear that Eric's Law. I mean, to have a law named after you, I have to say that is pretty impactful. Does that feel good?
Yes, it does. And truly, it's going to be an experiment to many young people who look like me. And knowing, even though I have a disability, but you can have a law and make a law, and knowing no matter what struggles you might take to get a law done, you can get it done. And so, praying that this will be an experiment for many others who look like me who have a hidden disability, saying you can become a leader, you can make a law or make a bill, and knowing that no matter what your disability is, it's a different ability. And so I just say God is so good, and that He will use people. And He used people like me. And so I'm just grateful for Him for giving me this opportunity and doing His work and doing His divine assignment.
That's wonderful. So let's look forward. I think that's a great point. So in terms of for other families who want to advocate, and then I know you have a bigger vision of not just Maryland, but what advice would you give for other families that maybe have other issues that, are challenges that they want to advocate for as well?
I would definitely tell them to do it. Yeah. If Eric can do it, I can do it. They can do it too. Definitely do it. And I love that you want to inspire others to do it that have different abilities. It's very important. is so important because we don't know what they're experiencing.
That's right.
So for them, it's important for the world to know and help them. So yeah.
You know, I a similar story with a mom with a son who had some learning challenges and came to us about plain language, right, which is a simplified way of communicating information, which is important to those with different learning disabilities. And I looked at that example too because it was one young man who his mom came to us and said, well, why can't we do the knowledge tests in plain language? Why can't you do the driver's manuals? And we've done it, and we increased the passage rate of the test by 15%. Because it not only helped that one young man, but it also
so many
helped
others.
everybody. And I think this is a perfect analogy to that. Again, one person speaking up and asking the question and then doing a lot of work behind it, because I don't want to diminish that. Y'all really did.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about where you go next from this and kind of the vision moving forward?
Sure. So, well, there are a couple of things, and I'll try to make it quick. We are in the process of moving this bill state by state. We've had so many people reach out to us on Instagram and through our email, ericsidlaw@gmail.com, about, could you come to our state? Could you help us? We want Eric's ID Law here. We want the butterfly there. So we are in meetings all day long, and we're doing our best to make it happen.
Wonderful.
Because, we want everybody to have feel that sense of comfort or feel that sense of something, that this is something to communicate to law enforcement, that I have a different ability should you interact with me.
That's right.
Please be compassionate. Please, take care with me. And so we are just so grateful to God. And we thank you, Administrator Nizer, for wanting to be also someone to make a difference, because you guys could have said, no, we're not going to do it. But thank you.
I don't know that anybody could say no to your inspiring story.
We are
so
super appreciative and
really
grateful
appreciate
to you.
it.
Thank
and
you.
And I just want to mention, again, for those who are listening, you can do this at the branch, but you can also do it online or one of our self-service kiosks. So I want to encourage them to use a convenient option for them. And if you're not doing something else, if adding the butterflies or anything you're doing, there's no cost as well. So again, barriers removed. You want this to be accessible to everybody. And clearly the fact that so many people have already chosen to add it shows the need is there. And now I'd like to introduce Delegate Kym Taylor, one of the sponsors of the bill, and she's going to ask Eric and Linda a few questions about this very important legislation.
Okay, Eric, this law is named after you. How does that make you feel? And it all started with one conversation, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your journey?
Oh, wow. I have to say, me and my mom been through a heck of a journey. It's just a blessing because I know that this law is going to save so many lives. And the journey was not easy, but we pray and pray and pray and trust God. And look, we in now, and now we are saving so many people's lives, and we just give God and all him the glory and the praise for it. And being named after a law is such an honor.
Yeah, and what led you to think about creating legislation around this?
I didn't know nothing about politics or legislation. I just have a talk with my mom.
Right.
That lead me to create Eric's ID Law. My mom have a conversation with me about getting stopped by police. And so if I ever get stopped by the police, she told me, put my hands up, don't reach for my phone, just call out my name and I have autism.
Yeah.
And so I know what to do, but I was concerned about others with autism and disabilities, concerned about them because I was concerned about if they get stopped, they probably be scared or run from the police.
Yeah.
And they could not to do that. And the law enforcement probably will know that they have a disability. So they probably would think that they're crazy or hurt, or they're going to hurt them.
Yeah.
But, but that's how Eric's ID Law became a idea to reality.
Yeah. And your mom, Linda, what prompted you to have that conversation with Eric in the first place about, how to respond when approached by the police?
Well,
if approached by the police.
Yeah. It was, a very unfortunate situation that occurred with Mr. George Floyd when he was killed. But there were other people being harmed, hurt, and killed by law enforcement that had invisible disabilities. And so I realized that I have an African-American son with an invisible disability. Should he be stopped by law enforcement, that could be very concerning. So I decided to have that conversation with Eric to stay safe. Put your hands up.
Yep.
Don't reach for your phone because he calls me for everything.
Right.
Yell out I have autism and yell out someone called my mom. Yell out my number.
Right. Yeah. It's been a long and fruitful journey to October 1st of this
Mhm.
year. Can you share any stories from other parents, particularly, and advocates that may have inspired you along the way?
Yes, we can. So Eric has a friend
Mm-hmm.
who is definitely on the spectrum, who doesn't respond like he would respond should he be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one of Eric's huge concerns. As a matter of fact, Eric was in tears thinking about his friend and if he was stopped by law enforcement, how he would respond. He responds to us even though he knows us, he responds differently. He would probably come in this room and he would probably go in a corner and clam up and, look at us a little strange until he's comfortable. So Eric was thinking he walks his dog a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about that?
Huh?
Your friend that walks his dog.
Yeah, he have a dog named Hershey. And, it's a beautiful dog too. I've seen the dog many times, and I was concerned because he always say, "I'm gonna walk my dog." So that's like one day, what if he walk his dog, and the police would stop him because he looked like a 6 tall basketball player.
6
And-
feet tall.
Yeah, 6 feet. Really
Big
tall.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
Black guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And he says, he will walk his dog, and then all of a sudden the police stop him,
Yeah.
and they have their guns at him and tasers.
Right.
He is going to run.
Yeah.
He's going to run.
Right.
Going to make noises and stuff like that, and the police would think he's crazy, so they probably
Or on
will
drugs or
shoot
something.
him or hurt him or tackle him to the ground because he's this big guy. But he's not going to hurt nobody. He won't even kill a bug.
He's a wonderful.
He's like a
wonderful person.
He's a big old teddy bear.
He is.
But he looks.
He looks intimidating because
And-
he's
and
just
that
tall.
perception
Tall
might
and-
be
Mhm.
that.
and really skinny. And
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
And so I'm just
And
worried
how,
about him.
how would this legislation help him? And maybe you can help us understand, how the legislation came about and exactly what is Eric's ID law.
Eric's ID law is putting a butterfly symbol on the driver's license or state ID.
Yeah.
So they will know how to interact with that person who maybe have a hidden disability like autism, hearing impairment, mental health, or any other disability. So they will know that this person might need some help or interaction. And so the police will know that that person might need help instead of hurting them. So they will know right there, oh, this person have a disability, so I might need to interact with this person better instead of hurting them.
And the police would be trained to know how to have these interactions, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
That was a part of our amendment to this law, was that all law enforcement agencies within the state of Maryland have the same exact training as it relates to Eric's ID law and this butterfly symbol.
And this is it, right?
This is the original that Eric and I designed. Eric came up with this idea for the butterfly. He actually prayed and asked God to give him a symbol. And he looked at the refrigerator and saw our magnets. We have magnet butterflies on our refrigerator. He said, "Mom, the butterfly." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "So you should research, see what the butterfly represents."
Yeah.
And it represents what?
Hope, peace, freedom, and change.
Hope,
Yeah.
Peace,
Peace,
freedom,
and
and
change.
change.
And
Okay.
the colors inside the wings.
And the colors inside of the wings is the colors that represent for all hidden disabilities.
Great.
But however, Maryland MVA
Yeah.
cannot print color onto their IDs because they already come pre-colored.
Yeah.
So they chose the black butterfly, and we were absolutely happy with that because it still has the concept
Yes.
of hope, peace, freedom, and change for Eric's ID law.
I think a lot of it has to do with you two. And I said it before, your tenacity, your determination to make this a law in the state of Maryland. You have real life experience with a hidden disability, and you have the real life experience like I do of having a son on the spectrum and what kind of fear we have when our sons walk out the door without us. and potentially having those interactions that could turn sour.
Absolutely.
And what you guys have done is given us a tool, something that would say to the police or other first responders that our sons, anybody that has a hidden disability might not react in the way that other people react.
Exactly.
Lights may trigger a
Yes.
certain reaction.
Yes.
Heightened voice, yelling
Yes.
will have a certain reaction. And sometimes that is not a reaction, it's a non-reaction.
Yeah.
It may be to clam up and say nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's absolutely right.
So I think what you've done is absolutely incredible.
What we've done. Yeah.
Yes.
Is absolutely incredible. And tell me about your next steps. Where do we go from here? This bill is now the law in the state of Maryland. There's been great success. Tell me about the success in Maryland and then what your plans are outside of Maryland.
Yes. So because the bill, now that it's become law as of October 1,
Yes.
4,825 people in the state of Maryland have obtained Eric's ID Law Butterfly on their
So
ID.
in 6 weeks,
Yeah.
we have almost 5,000 people
obtaining
in the state of Maryland
Yes.
that now have this on their ID,
That's
including my son, who was one of the first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I'm very proud of.
Thank you. Yep, exactly. And so now we are asked to please make this a national law from different people in the world that are contacting Eric and I that are concerned for their loved ones, their children that have an invisible disability, autism, mental health, hearing impaired, bipolar, whatever it is, and would like this butterfly in their state. So we are moving this law state by state at this point.
Wonderful.
We already have Delaware, who already started drafting their bill, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Alabama, Eric,
Georgia, California, Arizona,
Indiana,
Alabama,
and Massachusetts.
Did you say Georgia?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
That's good. And you actually, I had the pleasure of accompanying you to the State House in Pennsylvania.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we got back the next day, there was already a senator who agreed to sponsor the bill. So that's how exciting this is and folks, and even some states already have similar laws, but still think that this law, Eric's ID law, is a very important tool in the toolbox, so to speak, for those with hidden disabilities.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's.
So Delegate Taylor, I wanted to ask you a question if you don't mind.
Okay, can you do that?
Yeah, can I do that? Okay. How was this for you, being the delegate to co-sponsor this bill? What was this really like for you, and you being a mom of a son that's on the spectrum?
Okay. Well, thank you for that question.
Yeah.
First of all, it was by chance that we met.
It was
the three of us, right?
God's divine order.
It was divine order. I truly believe that. We were at Congressman Steny Hoyer's Bull Roast, his fundraiser. And I just happened to be standing there. I saw you guys. And I think you said, "Are you Delegate Kym Taylor?" or something like that. And we started talking.
Yeah.
And you told me that your son had a hidden disability. I shared with you that I have a son that's on the spectrum as well. And you said to me, "We want you to co-sponsor this bill."
Exactly what we said.
With Delegate Janelle Wilkins. And I was like, "Listen, you have Delegate Janelle Wilkins. You don't need me." And you guys said, "Well, we want you also as a part of this."
Yes.
And working alongside Delegate Janelle Wilkins, who is, I can't say enough about her ability and her a dedication to making sure that it passed this year, and working with those folks who weren't necessarily the biggest advocates for this bill, that had some reservations, and the ability of us, including Senator Will Smith, to work with those advocates, to talk to them about what are your challenges with with this particular bill. There were privacy issues that they had. We ensured them that some of the privacy issues that they had, were never going to come to fruition. They were afraid that their insurance rates were going to go up. Well, we talked to the insurance folks and they said, no, it's not going to happen. The insurance rates aren't going to go up.
For car insurance.
For car insurance.
Yeah.
We also had a great working relationship with the MVA, the Maryland's Motor Vehicles Administration. And I must say that our administrator, Chrissy was an awesome partner in this work. And that's what you need. You need to build those partnerships, build those advocacy bases for this. And you guys did a tremendous job with organizing friends and family and others that were in full support. They were all there. Anytime you called them for a hearing or for a meeting, they were all there en masse, and that really helped as well. So, and it also helped that you have a great story, right? And this is something that is not, just a tick the box kind of thing. This is real legislation that can help people. And, what you've done, from my opinion, is just phenomenal.
What we've done.
What we've done is phenomenal, and it is work that it's the reason why I'm in the General Assembly, for this type of work. So, yeah. So
Eric
thank
and I
you.
appreciate you so much for all that you have done, Delegate Wilkins and Senator Smith, and every person that has been along the way. Definitely Ms. Nizer.
Yeah.
Administrator Nizer.
Yeah.
You get that title right.
Sure.
We appreciate every person that supported this. It's not easy, and we thank God most of all, but this has not been an easy walk at all. But it's worth it.
Yeah.
If it saves one life,
it's become a full-time job for you. And you already had a nonprofit. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So Eric and I have the Blue Runway for Autism.
Yeah.
And what we do is we partner with Macy's, and we partner with Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 89, located in Upper Marlboro. We also have a workshop that we do for the police, where we just kind of engage with them in person in like a little intimate setting, so that they will understand what it's like to interact with somebody with an invisible disability. And so we kind of set it up where they don't know that these people have invisible disabilities when they're sitting at their table and things like that, and let them just engage. And then we have them get up and tell their stories. And most of the time, there's a change in the room. Most of the time, the atmosphere changes, and the police, they really appreciate it. And they're like, this is something that should be done everywhere. Yeah. Because it changes things for them in their mind. Like there's someone who comes with us, he's a brain injury survivor. And he kind of bebops when he walks, and he has this face like, he's upset. It's none of that. It's the sun, it's the lights, it's just different things that make him make those facial expressions. And I can remember one of the captains actually crying when we got finished, and she apologized to him. She said, I had already judged you in my mind. I said to myself, I'm going to have to watch this guy. He looks a little threatening. Yeah. But afterwards, she, pretty much told us as she was crying, she apologized to him. She said, my thoughts of you were already, I'm going to have to watch you. And it's none of that. Right. So it is a life-changing moment.
Our administrator is here now, and I'd love to hand off my seat to her so I can go off to my next meeting.
Thank you so much, Delegate Taylor. Anything else that you'd like to add to the conversation today?
Well, we just want to let everyone know that producer Carlos King from Kingdom Reign Entertainment also has reality shows on the Oprah Winfrey Network, is doing a documentary about this story, about following Eric's ID law and us moving it state by state. So we want to let him know that we appreciate him for also wanting to use what he does to help filter it out into the world to help save lives for people with invisible disabilities.
It really makes a difference. And in this environment where we're all just trying to develop a better understanding of each
Yeah.
other, I think having that symbol on there, that symbol of hope and peace, and is so important for
It is.
everybody. So
It truly
thank you
is.
so much.
Thank
I'm just so
you.
grateful to have you both as guests. I'm thankful for Delegate Taylor and her leadership. And again, as I said, Delegate Wilkins and Senator Smith, as well as the many groups who were involved in this process. It's hard to name individuals because I know there were just so many people who were part of this great effort. And again, a testament that you can make a difference. You can impact government in a positive way and change lives for thousands of people across Maryland. I know you're an inspiration, and we're going to continue to spread the message for those of you out there who may need assistance. There's much information on our website at mva.maryland.gov. We encourage you to reach out if you need help as you're transacting with MBA, and we can provide assistance that's specific to you individually. So thank you again,
Thank you.
both of you,
Thank
for
you
being
so much
here
for having
today and
us.
for what
Thank
you've
you.
done. And for those out there, thank you for listening. If you're interested in Eric's Law, please go to our website for more information. We look forward to providing each and every Maryland resident with premier customer service. Thank you, and have a wonderful and safe day.